Hey guys, welcome to day 27. Moving along. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of information that I intentionally left out when I flashed forward a little bit before. But this is definitely, actually no, it's about right. So it's after the incident from yesterday that I talked about. You know how like I was pretty peeved off that when Chrissy went to Georgia over Christmas and gave me a really short heads up. I mean, I hate to say that I should have realized that that wasn't going to be the only instance. You know, not soon after, I want to say it was maybe the end of the first week, maybe even the second week of January, Chrissy eventually, told me that she would be joined by her family. They're going to come down here for a couple of weeks to visit. And, when she first told me that, I was a little, to be honest, I was a little mad in the sense that she didn't tell me until like 2 days before again. Don't get me wrong, I like her family. I still like her family today, even though we don't really talk anymore. It wasn't that I hated them, because, I didn't really know them. I only knew of them through Chrissy. Whatever she told me of them. It went both ways. Obviously, Chrissy knew of my parents and of my brother, and I knew of her parents and her 3 sisters. I knew enough that I knew that, aside from her parents, you had her 3 sisters who were also coming, who one of them was older and had 3 kids. One of them was still in high school, and one was around my age. And that's not what's important. What was important was that, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, I'm a little disappointed that she didn't tell me, but I didn't really care that they were, I didn't know that they were coming. It's not like they were going to stay with me, they were staying with her, so that was her problem to deal with. Unfortunately, but to be fair, I didn't really blame her. It wasn't just the 5 of them that came. When she picked them up from the airport, they had a bystander. They had an extra person with them, and if you've been watching this from day one, okay, so in the first week, I talked about when me and Chrissy talked about our first kisses, when we had our first fight, and I had learned after that the boy that she had only kind of kissed that day, and she didn't really count, was not exactly just a random person that she never saw again. That boy was a very close family friend that she saw quite often when she was in Georgia, because they were close. They'd known each other since kids. She even saw them when she went back during Christmas, and that's probably how he found out that they were coming to visit, and why he probably tagged along. Because if you understand what I'm saying, and basically the boy that Chrissy had her first kiss with was coming with her family. You know how I said that I didn't mind that her family was coming? Yeah, I did definitely mind that. I'm not even gonna try to hide what his name was. I did not like the fact that Robert was coming, and it kind of took me off. By the time we got back, by the time Chrissy brought them back to her apartment, as they were unpacking, I set her aside and we were talking about it, and I'm like, I asked her, I was like, that's not really cool that he's here. And she's like, and she understood. She was like, there's nothing she could do. She didn't even invite him. It was her mom and dad that invited him because, they liked him. I don't know why, but they did. So, there was nothing I could do, nothing she could do, so we just had to learn to deal with it. And it was definitely very hard because I was hoping that me and her family were going to get along, at least. And, really, to be honest, we did. I was expecting a little bit of hesitancy at first, I put myself in their shoes. I'd imagine if I had a daughter and she wanted to introduce me to her boyfriend, I'd probably be pretty hesitant to talk to him at first. But, to be honest, they were pretty hospitable. I know that, you're like, oh, that's a general stereotype, the whole Southern hospitality, but shit, I live in the South also, so it's not. But while I get along with them, I tried to get along with Robert, and it just didn't. It wasn't gonna happen. I know you're probably like thinking like that I'm just some little jealous person, and I am. I'm not gonna lie about that. I was definitely jealous that he was there, and come on, put yourself in my shoes. Are you gonna tell me that you wouldn't be jealous too? But I tried to do my best. I tried to get along with him, and I don't know. I knew it was only 2 weeks anyway, so I was like, I'll do whatever. I didn't know what he was gonna do. I didn't know. I knew that he liked her, but I wasn't, for me to just automatically assume that he was gonna try to break us up was fair, but I don't know if that was actually gonna happen. And I guess technically, if I put myself in his shoes, I can't exactly blame him for if he did try. But to suffice to say, I guess it kind of did. I know that I'm going a little too far into the future, but I've already said it. Things are going to pick up, definitely. And I've said that a lot in the past. I said that, things are gonna definitely come to a boil pretty soon, and I'm not even gonna throw punches anymore. It's gonna happen tomorrow. My next video is going to be the actual, it's going to be the end, really. At least the start of the end. Things had already been boiling pretty high between us. This definitely did not help. You had you know, the whole thing that Chrissy wouldn't tell me anything until right before it happened. You had her, I mean, he's not really her ex-boyfriend, but you had her family friend that was definitely, you know, trying to get with her. And then, you know, you on the flip side, you had me comparing our relationship to what happened to me and Austin in high school, and you could already tell that things were definitely not looking great for us. I mean, you know, I still loved Chrissy, don't get me wrong. But I could already kind of tell that something was going to happen. I didn't know what. And unfortunately, something did happen, which I'll get into huge detail tomorrow, and that is the death of my father. That sent things over the cliff. That really split us. You know, that really made things end for us. I'll get into that tomorrow, though. That's all I'm going to talk about today. Before you ask, I mean, with her, the thing, the story between Robert and what happened is definitely not over. If you're going to ask, it'll continue. And yeah, that's all for today. Like I said, if you like this, any of these stories, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And we're getting kind of close to the end, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, what is it, like almost 2 more weeks? Less than now. And all I can do is I can promise is I'll try to leave the story with a bang, But until next time, see ya.